Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back. No, your clock is not wrong. We are, in fact, doing an episode of Sentai Laine on Friday because Saturday is going to be open for whatever discussion I want, which is not related to anime or Sentai as I originally planned. So that means we're going to be doing Casual Laine, the Cinema Pit, and the other one, whose name? The DC Laine podcast on Saturdays, as I had originally intended. Because I want to combine everything into one channel, but I want to keep it mostly anime-oriented. The other channel is probably going to become a gaming channel. And this is official. This is not changing. I keep flip-flopping around because I have ADHD, unmedicated, but that's another story entirely. But at this point, that's what I want to do, and that's what I'm going to stick with. Because I've realized that, you know what? I know that I want a niche. My niche is mostly anime, but I also want to do a couple other things too. So, there you go. But right now, we are talking about Kamen Rider Gav and Bakuwaga Sentai, the new one, whose name I still have not gotten used to pronouncing because it's very weird. But this week on Kamen Rider Gav and last week, we officially meet the villains. I don't really know their names. Their names are very weird, like Jita and Yelv, and like their names are odd. Glira, something like that. And their last name is Stomach, so I think it probably means something, but I don't know. It's very weird. So there are the twins, who I mostly remember because, in my opinion, those wigs look absolutely awful on them. They are very, very ugly. And they're black and white wigs, so they kind of match. You know, one is black on one side and white on one side, and the other is vice versa. So you have them. You have the hot sister, honestly, which is why I immediately clicked onto the show, if we're being entirely honest. You have the only son, and you have who I think is the father. Who the actor is in his 40s. So I'm presuming this is the father. And they are concerned because Kamen Rider had been kicking the asses of their employees, and their workers have been disappearing. So they're like, we got to figure out what's going on. And I'm impressed by this, because with most shows, most villains would not care about their henchmen. They would be like, they were useless anyway, you know, who needs them? We don't need weak people, or even if they did survive, they'd come back and get slaughtered by the villains anyway. But it's nice that they care, or maybe they only care because they need people to collect human essence for them. That might actually be it. But they are concerned about this, and they are starting to take notice of Kamen Rider, Gav, who Shoma is still dealing with the fact that he's freaking out people because, you know, you have this giant neon monster thing that is, like, fighting another monster, and I don't blame people for being scared of him, and I think it's nice that the show is establishing that he's kind of conflicted because he doesn't want to scare people, but at the same time he understands that you know, people people don't know where he came from. So I have a feeling that he's gonna have to, you know, convince people to like him. Meanwhile, over in Bakuwage, everybody's still moping around about Genba, because if we recall last week, Genba left the team because he didn't want to put them in danger, because he's actually an alien from a planet that Disrace took over, because Disrace is a new commander, and for Seiyu bias, he's automatically my favorite, for those of you who know me. But he stalks off, and everybody's mopey. They all try to get on with their lives, and they all try to move on, but it's hard. Meanwhile, the morons, Itasha and the other one whose name I still don't remember, they are concerned because, you know, they're sent to find Disrace's dog, and they're like, what happened to him? What did you do to him? And, you know, he basically, no, sorry, not Disrace. I meant to say Mad Rex's dog. Mad Rex is the one with the dog. And Disrace basically wipes his memories and makes him into a puppet, which is honestly very, very, very terrifying. In the new episode, Mad Rex starts to get some of his memory back. Of course, that doesn't help. But I have a feeling he and Dismace are basically going to come to blows because he's going to get all his memories back and be pissed. Naturally, we have the thing where, Genba shows up and gets in the way and is like, he's mine. And everyone's like, we can help you. He's like, no. It's all very cliche and stupid, but it's also very fun and very, 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 very dramatic and very interesting. What I'm interested in is to know if Genba's going to show them his alien form at some point, because a lot of people have pointed out that the alien form kind of looks like Inuyasha a little, but I don't really see it entirely. But he's going to have to do that if he wants their help, because we all know he's going to come back and want their help. Other people have been speculating also that the ISA lady is going to come and become a Boonger, but I don't think so. I don't think they're going to do that. I think that would actually be very stupid. Oh, that's the other thing that is interesting. We find out that Chashiro was hired by the ISA to break in and steal a key that the Hashilians want. And it's made very clear that the ISA is up to something. They're up to something bad, because they don't tell him what this key, why they want it, what they're going to do with it. And at the end of the episode, Chashiro is like, I don't think the Hashilians are the only ones we have to worry about, which, everybody was speculating that, but I was like, ooh, that's interesting. So the ISA are going to turn out to be the real bad guys, and they did not tell ISA lady about this, so it's clear she's going to defect from them, because she's going to realize that these people are bad people, and is just going to permanently join the Boongers as a side character. Again, not a Boonger, because I don't think that's going to happen, and now the ending theme song is stuck in my head. It's about, and it's especially funny since now they've just kind of stuffed Boon Violet into a little bubble. I was wondering how they were going to incorporate him into the ending theme song. They basically didn't. Instead, they just put him in a bubble, and he pops into the screen every once in a while, and he's floating in a bubble above the screen. It kind of reminds me of how for Dawn Brothers, when they introduced the other Jiro, they basically had him hang upside down on the screen for the opening. It's really stupid, but it's really funny at the same time. Maybe at some point they will actually fix that permanently. If Genba doesn't come back for a while, they'll actually let him be an actual member. 'Cause it's not fair to him. It's kind of disrespectful to him. It's funny, but it's disrespectful. But that is it for this week, and I will see y'all next Friday. Tomorrow will be something. I'm not sure what, though.